Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Christy Don One, and I am back with another video. ESPN had to lay off 100 employees a couple of weeks back, and this layoff affected a lot of on-air talent. Now, the worldwide leader of sports, which, by the way, is owned by Disney, a lot of the people who are still at ESPN pretty much comment about the recent layoffs. Scott Van Pelt, Stephen A. Smith, just to name a few. We'll add another person to the fire of information, and that person happens to be Colin Cowherd. Colin Cowherd predicted that not only ESPN is going to be laying off even more people, but they're going to be doing this annually. And Jason Whitlock is pretty much concurring to what Colin Cowherd is spewing. Now, there's one particular on-air talent that really didn't appreciate what Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock said, and that is Stu Gott from the Dan Le Batard show. He really wasn't happy about what Colin Cowherd said and commented pretty much about his comments and how he commented on former colleagues. All right. Now, let me say this for the record. All right. Colin Cowherd, and he's a very smart, intelligent man, and he knows this. All right. This is what happened in the sports entertainment and entertainment in general. All right. Colin Cowherd, you really don't have to understand this from a far distance. All you have to do is just walk a couple of blocks down the street to Fox News, when Fox News also had layoffs. Colin Cowherd, I remember you didn't really say too much about that. There are your parent company, Fox News, Fox Sports. You know, they all are one entity. It's funny how we haven't heard anything from Colin Cowherd about that announcement. All right. Colin Cowherd seems to forget that Microsoft, a big time corporation, pretty much leading in computer software, they had to let go of over 1,000 employees at Microsoft. And it's amazing how Colin Cowherd hasn't even mentioned that. Or you can go back into time when IBM had to let go of people, when Comcast Cable had to let go of people. It's funny and amazing how Colin Cowherd now wants to finally speak about big time corporations letting go of people. Okay. It's the nature of the beast, folks. It's really nothing too hard to not explain. It's really simple. When your subscriber base are no longer subscribing to your product, no longer subscribing to your services, and when your competition is also dividing up some of your subscriber base, not to mention other services that are outside your competition that you also have to worry about, this affects their brand, not only ESPN as a brand, but ABC Sports, ABC Sports, CBS Sports, NBC. This affects all of sports entertainment. Now, it didn't affect them on a larger level like ESPN, but we all get the picture, and I can paint a pretty good picture. When you're talking about sports entertainment in general, that's a market that is shrinking by the minutes, okay? Not a lot of people really want to go to these sports programs to get their sports news when you can just simply go to your smartphone and you can find out all the latest stats and news surrounding sports entertainment. The sports entertainment world has pretty much changed when technology changed. Now let's get back on Colin Cowherd for a few seconds. Colin Cowherd sounds like a bitter employee. The same to be said for Jason Whitlock, because it's true. These two individuals are bitter employees, and they will love to stick it to the man that they call ESPN. All right. Colin Cowherd, even though his final days at ESPN was okay, it was pleasant. He really didn't talk too much about ESPN, and there were rumors that suggested that ESPN never re-up on his contract, and they really didn't even bargain for Colin Cowherd to come back to ESPN. Colin Cowherd started to become a very controversial type of sports reporter, and a lot of things he have said on ESPN. ESPN is trying to have that squeaky boy image, that clean cut image, because they are owned by Disney, and the Disney Corporation, the Disney company, could not have someone that controversial, so they never re-signed Colin Cowherd, which ultimately Colin Cowherd could only had one big deal, and one big deal only, which was Fox Sports 1. Now, as far as Jason Whitlock go, he got fired by ESPN many moons ago. Jason Whitlock is still cut from the same cloth as Colin Cowherd. Do y'all see a pattern here? All right. Jason Whitlock is also a controversial reporter. He really doesn't keep a job for that much time. All right. He was once employed by Fox and they let him go. ESPN picked him up. ESPN fired him and they let him go. And Fox Sports 1 picked him up to sign him again. Who knows how long he's going to stay there. Jason Whitlock cannot keep a job to save his life because, to be frank and to be honest, he is very controversial. All right. The same could be said for Skip Bayless. Just follow the tea leaves. Follow and read and look at the recent talent Fox Sports 1 has picked up. Yes, it's talent with a big name, but it's talent with a lot of baggage, and they're very controversial. Now, Fox Sports 1, for the record, is embracing this for now, but who knows what's going to happen when those big time revenue, those big time ads and corporations start disintegrating away from Fox Sports 1. And their reasoning behind this is the network is way too controversial, way too left. And that's pretty much why ESPN was at a crossroad. Not only people wasn't watching and people went to other services to get the same entertainment for less, that suffered with ESPN as well as other networks in satellite and in cable. ESPN is not the only network that had to lose talent, on-air talent, employees. A lot of people in network TV are having the same issues, and they are struggling as well. All right. So for Colin Cowherd and Jason Whitlock to say this, I'm not saying that it's totally false. I believe later on down the road, and I have already told you guys, in May, they're going to be letting go of more on-air talent. And it's probably going to be some names that you been growing up since day one that you have been watching on a day-to-day basis. Now, there's a lot of big name on-air talent on ESPN that took pay cuts to do this, to do that, to preserve their jobs, okay? But when you look at sports entertainment from a big point of view, from a big picture, it's just not the same realm it was 20 or 30 years ago, all right? There are more programs in social media. There are more services that you can get this same entertainment for less, that big time networks like ESPN and other networks, they're kind of struggling right now to keep up. All right. It's just that simple. All right. So as far as Colin Cowherd saying ESPN is probably going to do this every year, I really don't doubt that. But I can't say in concrete it's actually going to happen. I do believe they're letting go of some talent that they believe, quote unquote, has baggage, that quote unquote is just not that popular, or quote unquote way too controversial. All right. Now, ESPN has signed another big name talent from Yahoo, and Yahoo is another sport entity that is also struggling to keep their writers, to keep their own air talent. Okay. So, for ESPN, for everyone to scream out, to say ESPN is broke, they're a long way from being broke. It's just ESPN realized they had to trim the fat, sort of say, to keep afloat. And let's be real and let's be honest, a lot of that talent that they let go a couple of weeks back, they can replenish that with the younger talent that they already developed at ESPN. You know, the same young talent that these other sports entertainment entities want to pick up. All right. So we're going to have to wait and see about that. We're also going to have to wait and see if Fox Sports 1, are they going to tail off? Are they going to get rid of some of their talent? If you really read the tea leaves, they're starting to begin that process. Now, it's not going to be to the effect of what ESPN has done, but these are things that these network corporations have to do, all right, to stay afloat, because the sports entertainment field is now diluted with other networks, other services, that is a lot cheaper, and they're pretty much giving the consumer the same entertainment. But guys, tell me what you think out there. Rate, comment, subscribe. Please do not forget, notification gang in the building. Hit that notified icon, that notified bell, so you'll be the first to know when my next live stream or video is going down. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One, and I am out.